Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vocabulary. This week, your goal is, like always, which is to learn 8 new words, learn how to use them in sentences, and to recognize them when you read them in new material, new books, new stories, signs, wherever you see them. All right. So our first word is wonderful. Wonderful. And if you notice, that has 3 syllables in it because we have 3 vowels in it. So it goes full, wonderful. And that is an adjective. And what wonderful means is causing or creating a lot of delight and joy and pleasure. And I bet the young man on the right is feeling wonderful because he's doing such an outstanding job dancing. And it looks like SpongeBob and Patrick are feeling wonderful because you see the big smiles, the joy, the delight, and the pleasure on their face. Our next word is noises or just noise. Now, there you have the OI, the oi sound. So it's noises, noises. And noises is a noun, a person, place, animal, or thing. And this is a thing. And what noises are sounds, usually loud enough to be heard. All right. And if you notice, the monkey is doing those symbols, and that would be quite noisy, actually. And then the picture on the right is just like it's pretty noisy, huh? Every once in a while, you'll hear you do it or moms and dads do it. And sometimes they're silent and sometimes they have noise to them. All right. Our next word is quiet. 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 And it is a noun or an adjective. So it kind of works in both positions depending on how you use it in the sentence. What quiet means is very little or no sound at all. All right. So when you're quiet, you shouldn't really be heard. We have to be quiet in the library. We have to be quiet walking down the hall. We have to be quiet when somebody is taking a test. And so if you notice, she's doing the zipper look or the zipper move because she wants you to be quiet. And then he's simply saying silence. Our next word is sprinkle, and sprinkle is a verb. It can be used as a noun, but in this week we're using it more like verbs, all right? And so therefore we can add the ing and the ed to the base word. And remember, your base word is your original word. It's the word with no endings and no added on beginnings to it. So it means to scatter small drops or particles. And if you notice, the donut is being dipped into sprinkles, which are small drops or particles. And then if you notice, the person is tapping on Tinkerbell, and all of her beautiful little glitter is sprinkling down and scattering all around. Our next word is share. Our base word is share. We drop the E and add the ing. Sharing, we don't have to drop the E. We just add the D and we have shared. And of course, that is a verb. And it means to divide, to give, or be given a share of something. So here, if you notice, the little guinea pigs are sharing a long piece of grass. And it says sharing is caring. And then the Lady and the Tramp, which is one of my favorite movies in the whole wide world, is sharing a piece of spaghetti. And so it's always wonderful to share. My best friend and I, Sherry, we share all the time. We share our earrings. We share like things we make for the classroom. And it always makes you feel pretty good inside when you share with somebody, which means to divide or give them a share of what you're doing. All right. The next word is also a verb. The base word is notice. Base word, when I say that, or sometimes I use the word root word, it just simply means the word that you start with without changing it at all. All right. So the base word is notice. notice. The TICE always makes a tis sound. Tis. Because we learned the CE makes that S sound. So it's no, tis, notice. Now we drop the E, add the ing, and we have noticing. We add the D to the E, and we have noticed. And it means to give your attention to something. So can you understand or guess why we would notice this if we saw this up in the sky? What do you think? It's because of the sparkles, isn't it? I mean, normally when we look up at a rainbow, we notice it anyway, so because it's so beautiful. But if we saw this one, man, we would stop walking and just like stare at it because it would be so amazing. And then, of course, why would we notice her? If you notice, her hair is kind of glittering. Isn't that pretty? So whenever you notice something, it's because it stands out, and then you give your attention to it. All right. And this word is also a verb. Pretty cool pictures, huh? And the base word is burst. We can add the ing, bursting. We can add the ed, bursted. Oh, no. You know what? That word is wrong right there because it should be burst, bursting, burst. There's no such word as I bursted the balloon. I bursted open the can of pop. So see, Mrs. Hicks made a mistake right there. So when I correct this slide, I'm going to take that ed off because it should be burst, bursting, burst. All right. There's no such word as bursted. So be careful because the ed doesn't always go on a word and have it make sense. And what burst means is to break open, to split, or to break into pieces. So you can see, kapshoo, it opens up and goes everywhere. Do you see that? All right. So our last word is suddenly. And it is an adverb. It takes a verb and it describes it. So like kick, and you could say, I suddenly kicked the ball. So suddenly describes the action. And it means to happen quickly and unexpectedly. And if you notice, you can see the fear in that little person's face because all of a sudden his head just explodes with flames. And then notice how the smoke just comes out suddenly out of her head. And that is an adverb. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are your 8 words. And I hope you practice a couple of vocabulary games and a couple of spelling games today. And I will talk to you tomorrow with some sentences with our 8 new words.